the word Ezechima rather does not exist in the documented history of the Edo people. But the personage at which it has been referred to as Ezechima exists in the atlas of Benin history or Benin historiography. The personage exists, but the word does not exist.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to Atho's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. The true history of Ezechima, whom the Benins know as Ikhivbi. In this video, Ezechima Imajuan debunked the lies about the origin of Ezechima. The person called Ezechima exists in Benin history, but the name which has been igbolized does not exist in Benin history. Ezechima is a corrupt word of Ikhivbi which the Benins called him. Isiliuku is the head of the 10 clans of Ezechima. Ezechima is the 5th obi of Isiliuku chronologically. It was only Isiliuku and Ezechima who became a ruler. He never ruled the rest 9 clans including Onitsha. The first ruler of Isiliuku was addressed as Anagiye. Ezechima had 2 sons and a daughter. When he was still the obi of Isiliuku, his first son died and left behind a son, who was the grandson of Ezechima and who later founded Onitsha after losing the obiship of Isiliuku after his grandfather passed on. What this means is that Ezechima's grandson founded Onitsha. Ezechima also gave a historical analysis of Obasiki's family. He also made it categorically clear that Obasiki is from Benin royalty. Please sit down and watch this historical analytical comparison between the igbolized Ezechima and Beninized Ikhivbi, which the Igbos know as Ezechima.
Invite others. Today's topic very exciting. Even once I get tired, sharp so that I can go and relax. I traveled. I just came back from where I went to, so there's no time. All right, and I also want, if you're live, if you want to join this our program so that we can make it very exciting. If you have anything you want to say regarding this very topic, all right, if you want to share your thoughts about it, if you want to share your thoughts about it, let me know so that you all can join. Or any of you can join. If you have any idea that you want to share with us quickly, you can join. So while we're waiting for others, but I want us to discuss this topic. Very important topic. Very important topic. Maybe I attire. When I hear some topics that bothers our people, I like to just quickly give I like to quickly just give my historical perspective about it, open a pathway for further academic discussion. Yes, I have seen a lot of articles that have been flying around the social media that Ezechima is an Igbo man, or Ezechima is an Igbo man, and obviously the word Eze is Igbo, the word Chima is Igbo. It is not possible. Some even alluded that is an Arochukwu native doctor. Okay, so that's what a lot of persons said, and some said a whole lot of things. But you know, as a researcher and an historian, I like to add my own thoughts, one penny, what I would call my one penny contribution on topics that has to concern our heritage. So I'm going to add my 1 penny contribution. And my 1 penny contribution is not derived from sentiment. My 1 penny contribution is not derived from sentiment. I like to equip my people with the right knowledge to go forth and argue. This is as I fresh. Or no. So I like to allow our people. I give them the right academic tools to argue. You know, because I don't, by nature, I cannot argue with people. It's part of what I have come to believe in life. I cannot argue with people. If I write and you write, and I write again and you write, I just get tired because I have 1,000,010 things to worry about. I have 1,000,010 things to worry about. But to make it exciting, you can, if you want to join, you can make a request, and so that you can join, so that all questions can be asked. You can make your opinion as short as possible, so that we can look at how we can connect the dots and the lines of every history. So, because there is no time, I'll keep it very short, but I want us to open our ears and focus attentively so that we can grasp this knowledge. First and foremost, Ezechima or Ezechima does not exist as a personage in the history of Benin. The word, the statement Ezechima does not exist. It is the igbolization. Let me not say does not exist. The personage of Ezechima does not exist. That's not the right English. The word Ezechima rather does not exist in the documented history of the Edo people. But the personage at which it has been referred to as Ezechima exists in the atlas of Benin history or Benin historiography. The personage exists, but the word does not exist. So, who is now the Ezechima? We must go back to the beginning of the history in order to ascertain the true context at which these arguments are being laid bare or presented. The history that has been in circulation for these years has punctuated that Ezechima was a personage that became primus or attained limelight during the reign of Obaisigi. Now, when there are conflicting history between two sets of people, what you must look out for are facts, generational history, the patterns of how this personage existed. Did this personage fell from the sky? Who was his father? Who was his mother? Who was his mother? Where is he from? At what reign? At what time of history did this person become known? What the Igbos are presented is what I would call a waterside history that does not have any historical bearing. It does not, you do not need an intelligent man to be able to discredit what they are presented. First, they claim that Ezechima was an Arochukwu native daughter. They never told you where exactly is he from. In Arochukwu. Secondly, who was Ezechima's father? They never spoke about it. Who was Ezechima's mother? When this Ezechima, who is an Arochukwu native daughter, when he got to Benin, who was the reigning Oba of Benin at that time? They never spoke about it. Then, what evidence can they now bring to the table that will make me believe that he was an Igbo man? After all, I can sit in the confinement of my study room and begin to allot names, time, that even the Unri, Abi Eri, came from Benin in the year 500 BC without giving sequential history. Without giving sequential history. So, but this is it. Let us look at the Benin perspective. The Benin perspective, and let us look at the Iseluku perspective. Why it is very important to look at the Iseluku perspective is that the head of the Ezechima clan, Ezechima has about 10 clans. Ezechima have about 10 clans. From Iseluku to Onitsha Olona, to Onitsha Ugbo, to Obio, to Ezi, to Onitsha Omili, which is now called the Onitsha in Anambra, etc., etc. Iseluku seems to be the head of all the clans of Ezechima. We have to go deep into it and look at what they presented as the history. They will not corroborate it with what the earliest writers of Benin, like Jacob Wade and late Dr. Jacob Wade and late Dr. Aisha Nehangos are presented as history. When we corroborate this, it is very easy. Why I said it is not in doubt that Iseluku is the head of all the Ezechima clans, the 9 to 10 or the 10 clans. When you including Iseluku, they are the 10 clans of the Ezechima. Of all these 10 clans, Iseluku is the head This will corroborate by the peace treaty that was signed in 1902 with the British as regards the Ekumeku War in 1902. It will also corroborate with the 1896 treaty that all the Ezechima's clan signed with the Royal Niger Company, which was signed by the then Obi of Iseluku. It would also that the Ezechima Town Hall was built at Iseluku, and Ezechima's native court. Ezechima's Town Hall was built in 1953, and it was sited at 1953. It was sited at Iseluku. Then in 1912, Ezechima's native court was also built, also sited at Iseluku. So it is in a common knowledge that Iseluku is the head of these Ezechima's clans. So they are in the best position to be able to write the true history of who Ezechima was. Because chronologically, Ezechima is the fifth Obi of Iseluku. Is the fifth Obi of Iseluku. And it was only Iseluku that he became a ruler. He never became a ruler in any of the other 9 clans, including the Onitsha in present-day Anambra State. All right? In present-day Anambra State, the head could not have been Obio. What did he say? The head could not have been Obio, but I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. All right? So, questions can be asked. No. Questions can be asked. Now, it is a common saying, like I've established, by facts. I gave facts and I gave dates. The peace treaty signed in 1896 with Royal Niger Company was signed by the Obi of Iseluku on behalf of all the Ezechima clan, 1896. Then in 1902, the peace treaty that was signed with the British as regards the Ekumeku War was signed by the Obi of Iseluku. The Ezechima's native court, which was established in 1912, is cited at Iseluku. And the Ezechima Town Hall is also cited at Iseluku, which was constructed in 1953. These are facts. All right, these are facts. So let's now come home. Who is Ezechima? Ezechima is a corrupted word. It is a corrupted word. The original pronunciation, a lot of people send me some article, they said Ihime, which was mispronounced to Chime, and which was mispronounced to Chima, igbolization of the word. But again, I ask, is Ihime a Benin word? No, it isn't. So it means that there would have been, Ihime is now the modern way that Iseluku pronounces the original Benin word, which is Ikhivbi. Which is Ikhivbi. Ikhivbi over the years was mispronounced as Ihime, from Ihime to Chime, from Chime to Chima. The original word for that personage was Ikhivbi, and he had a father, and his name was Ise. Ise was the 4th Enogie of Iseluku. All right. Ise was the fourth Enoge of Iseluku. So when you look at the chronology of the Enige or the kings of Iseluku, Ise, which is very, very important in this our historical narrative, all right, as we proceed, we must take very careful note of it, that Ise, who is the fourth Enoge or the fourth Obi of Iseluku, is the father of Ikhivbi. And Ikhivbi, which has over the years been mispronounced as Ihimen to Chime and to Chima over the years, is important because the history ties Oba the first to Iseluku. Now, this is the story. When Prince Ogun, who was later to be denied, who was denied the throne of his father, Oba Ohen, started wandering in the forest, he found himself at Iseluku, in present-day Iseluku, and he was accepted fully by the then head of Iseluku, which was Enoge Ise. The name of that Obi or that Enoge at that time. All right. I also want us to take cognizance that the first 5 rulers of Iseluku had a title of Enoge and not Obi. It is from the 6th, which is Prince Origbo, which Iseluku calls Oligbo. Origbo. All right. Origbo is another very ancient Benin word that I will explain later. But the first 5 rulers of Iseluku were addressed as Enoge until the reign of Oligbo. All right, going back to Enoge Ise was the then ruler of Iseluku at the time that the wandering Prince Ogun wandered to Iseluku, and he was accepted by Enoge Ise, understanding of the filial ancestral connections between the Enoge of Iseluku and the royal house in Benin. Don't forget, the founder of Iseluku was Prince Wadia, who was one of the sons of Obayawedo. All right, so these were ancestrally royal bloods. So they accepted him and inculcated him into the ways and life at Iseluku, and he was given a title. He was made a chief. Coincidentally, I'm opening another aspect of Benin history, that the first and the only Oba of Benin was a chief in a faraway land, like a sort of a satellite Benin town of Iseluku, who eventually became an Oba. Is Obayawe the first. He was made a chief in Iseluku with a title called Akoga. Prince Ogun, who later became Obayawe the first, was given a title of Akoga of Iseluku, a chieftaincy title. All right, was given a chieftaincy title called Akoga in Iseluku. Get this history very clearly. Was given a chieftaincy title of Akoga in Iseluku. Then, don't forget, the young Prince Ogun and the young Prince Ikhivbi became best of friends. They grew up together under the care of the first wife of Enogise. Her name was Ilogoma. She hailed from a village called Unkunzu. Unkunzu is a prominent village close to present Akumazi when you're going towards Obuluku area. All right? Unkunzu. That is the village that the mother of Prince Ikhivbi came from. All right? And that village is not an igbolized village. It belongs to the Olukumi clan. You know, the Olukumi people are from the areas of present-day Laje and Okitipupa. All right? Was from the clan. It came, the Unkunzu is a place that still exists till date. It comes from the area, the Olukumin clan. The Olukumin people are they migrated from the areas of the Laje, migrated from the areas of the Laje, the Okitupupa area, the waterine part of the present-day Ondo state. That's where the Olukumin people came from. Don't also forget, the Olukumin people at one point in history had passed through the Benin land and settled at a place called Ogbelaka. That is another story for another day. So Olukumi people are partly Yoruba and partly Benin, because they spent quite a number of years at the present day Ogbelaka before they went to settle in the present area now called Olukumi in present day Delta State. All right, that mother, that wife of Enogise, that wife of Enogise, who is the mother of Prince Ikhivbi, who later to be called Ezechima by the igbolization of the name, took care of the young Prince Ogun and the young Prince Ikhivbi, because they both now grew up together. And don't forget, this young Prince Ogun was already given a title called Akoga of Iseluku. After so many years of intermingling, Prince Ogun now returned back to Benin and now became the Oba of Benin. He became the Oba of Benin 15 years into his reign. That would have been around 1455 or thereabout, because he came to the throne around 1440. So around 1455, Enogise, who was a man who took care of him, died. And his son, his first son, Prince Ikhivbi, who was later to become Ezechima by modern day historian, all right, by modern day historian, Prince Ikhivbi eventually became the Enogi of Iseluku. So in the chronology of the rulers of Iseluku, Ise is the fourth ruler, Ikhivbi is the fifth ruler. Like I have said, Ikhivbi was later to be called Chima or Chime. All right? All right? So it's getting very interesting. So along the line, Iseluku, because of the relationship Obaiwai had when he was still a prince with the Iseluku people, and you understand? Because of the relationship between, they are very funny people. All right. All right. I'm giving facts. That's what I give. I give facts. You give lies and rhetorics. I give facts. So after my wife, as I said in the intro, because of how the father of Ezechima took custody of him and took care of him, so the Iseliku people found favor in the eyes of the Benin throne. Don't minding the fact that they were Oba's children, but they found extra favor. So along the line, Otoririore went up by where the first had passed on. All right. Then had passed on. Ezechima was still on the throne. Ozolwa came in, and at almost the same time that Ozolwa passed was when Ezechima also passed. All right. After a while, obviously there were two intermittent. We had Ezoti and we had Olwa. All right, but I'm talking about Ozolwa. After the time at Ozolwa passed on to Iriore, that was almost the same time Ezechima passed on. Now, but at the time when Ezechima was still alive, he had a son. He had 2 sons and 1 daughter. Listen very well. He had 2 sons and 1 daughter. The name of the first son was actually named, the name given to him, Ezechima's first son, was given to him by Ezechima's mother, who had already said was a woman from Ulukumi, Nkunzu, who was a woman from Ulukumi. All right? All right, so was a woman from Ulukumi. Because of the way he loved the Benin people, he gave his grandson, his first grandson, Oisa. Oisa, which the Igbos call, Chuku, which the Yoruba called Orisa. He gave the name of the first son of Ezechima was given to him by his grandmother, and the name was called Oisa, God. No wonder that the current Obi of Onitsha, when he was giving an historical analysis, mistook the Benin Oisa for Orisa in Ile-Ife. And in order not to give the superiority or the due respect that is due for the Iseliku people, in order for him not to give them the due respect, he went to give the respect rather to the Ile-Ife people. The word Onitsha truly came from a Benin word, Oisa, which we refer, Eram Oisa, which refers to God Almighty. Are you getting the gist? Ezechima has 2 sons and 1 daughter. All right, but the first son, the name was given to him, to Ezechima's first son, by Ezechima's mother, that is the grandmother of this boy, and that name was Oisa, which was later day to be corrupted to Onitsha. Then the second son was, I have already said it, was Origbo, which the Iseluku today call Oligbo. And the only daughter that Ezechima has is Obio. Obio today, they are like what the Ikhivbi, the relative of the Oba of Benin, does to the Oba of Benin is what the Obio. So before every Seluku, all the Ezechima clowns are crowned. Any of the Obis in each of these Ezechima's clown, of these 10 Ezechima's clown, including Obio, are crowned. The people from Obio must be the one to do the procession right, because they They are like, that is their traditional function to date. The Obio was the only daughter, all right, though the second child of Ikhivbi, who was later to be called Ezechima, was the second child but was a girl. Oligbo was the third child of Ezechima but was a son. Along the line, when Ezechima was still on the throne, his first son, Oisa, died. It was an abomination. He was later to be buried in an evil forest, because truly the first son, the prince, does not die, was not meant to die before his father. So Oisa was not buried in the evil forest, all right, because it was an abomination in Iseluku for a son to die before the father. So Ezechima's first son died before Ezechima himself died. But before that first son died, he had a son. I don't want us to mix it up. It has to be very clear. It has to be very clear. I want us to pay attention, because this knowledge is free. All right, this knowledge is free. So Ezechima's first son was Oisa, but Oisa died before his father, who was a Noge at that time, a Noge Ikhivbi, or who was later to be known as Ezechima or Chime. All right, so he died before his father Ikhivbi died, but he had a son. He had a son, and that son, that Oisa had a son, that is the grandson of Ikhivbi, Enogi Ikhivbi, and his name was called Oheze. I might not get the pronunciation right. Obviously, the names have started being igbolized. Was called Ohaeze or something like that. It has an H-A-E-Z-E, O-H-A-E-Z-E, Ohaeze. So Ohaeze was not the grandson of Ezechima. His father was Oisa. Oisa died before he ascended the throne of his own father while his father was still alive. So at the time Ezechima now died, Ezechima's first son has already died, which is Oisa. So there were now three candidates vying to occupy the throne of Ezechima. Three candidates. The son of Ezechima, Prince Oligbo. The grandson of Ezechima, Prince Ohaeze. And the daughter of Ezechima, Princess Obio. These were now the three candidates vying for who to be the next Enoge of Iseluku. So, as it is customary, three of them took this historical trip to Benin. At the time they got to Benin, the Oba that was on the throne in Benin was Oba Esigi. The Oba that was on the throne was Oba Esigi. So, Oba Esigi listened to this analysis that I'm giving to you. The son of the late Enoge, the grandson of the late Enoge, and the daughter of the late Enoge, three of them were vying for. The first verdict was on the princess. The princess was ruled out because in Benin tradition, women are not allowed to sit on the throne. Women are not allowed to sit on the throne. Princess Obio was ruled out. Now remaining two candidates. Prince Oligbo, which in Iseluku is called Oligbo, the son of the late Enoge, and Prince Ohaeze, the grandson of the late Enogi. So according to what Obaisige made a statement that Prince Origbo is the direct line of his set, and he called it Orisenahi. This is from the direct kion of his set. Prince Ohaeze cannot lay claim in Benin. It makes sense when I was reading this story, when I was doing my research on this topic. It made sense. I want to use my family as an example so that you people will understand why that decision, why the Benin Oba used that decision. That thing is applicable. It is the applicability of it till date in Benin. When my grandfather died, my father is the first son of my grandfather. When he died, my father buried his father. That is, my father buried my grandfather. So when you do that in Benin, automatically the leadership, the head of that lineage is retained in the line of my father, because my father buried his grandfather. Automatically the head of my entire family now is now my eldest brother. Don't forget, my eldest brother, we have uncles, because when we were sharing our grandfather's property about a month ago, that is when I now get to understand some of these aspects of our traditions. We had senior uncles that are way older than my eldest brother, but because, according to them, my father, before my father died, he buried his grandfather. Buried his own father. Automatically, the line, the headship of the entire family is now resting on my eldest brother. As if at the time my grandfather died, my father did not bury his own father, the headship of that family would have dodged my own eldest brother and go to the oldest surviving son of my grandfather. I don't know whether you understand. The line of headship would have moved to my uncle rather than to my own eldest brother. Do we understand the gist? It has always been applicable in Benin history. But because Prince Oisa had died, he did not bury his father. So he had died even before his father. So he has lost that headship of the family, and that headship now have moved to the oldest surviving son of Ezechima, which is now Prince Oligbo. So that is the same judgment that Obaisige gave. So I'm able to relate with the judgment of Obaisige over 500 years ago because of what happened to my family, what I saw, the judgment that they took in the community, in my village. It was the same judgment. So Prince Ohaeze was ruled out because his father died before his grandfather. So his father did not bury his grandfather. Instead, it was his uncle that had buried his grandfather. So the headship had moved to Prince Oligbo. So Obaisige now pronounced Prince Oligbo as the heir apparent to the throne. And Prince Oligbo, as it is customary for every enoge of Iseluku, must be retained in Benin and trained the art in Edote Itaimen, the art of administration. It has always been until 1840. 1840. So every Obi of Iseluku must come to the palace of the Oba of Benin to be trained until it was stopped in 1840. But thank God for the Oba that we now have. The Oba of Benin reawakened it. The present Obi of Iseluku was trained in the palace of the Oba of Benin before he was crowned as the Obi of Iseluku. So from 1840 till at the time Agbogidi was coronated, was in 2007, Unduka, the president Obi of Iseluku, all right, they were no longer being trained in Benin. Instead, but Obaiwa stopped it and said that what is customary, that every Obi before they are enthroned must come to the palace of the Oba of Benin to be trained. The current Obi of Iseluku came to the palace and spent a couple of months to be trained the tutelage of his ancestors on how the Enedote tyrant or not Negwati tyrant. So Prince Ohaeze was ruled at, Princess Obio was ruled at, and Prince Oligbo was retained and was told to sit back and be trained before he can go back and sit on the throne of his ancestors. So Prince Ohaeze was aggrieved. Princess Obio was aggrieved. And when they led Benin to Iseluku, Prince Ohaeze stole every paraphernalia, the Ada, the Eben, and every paraphernalia of office, and stole and fled. On his way, he founded places like Onitsha Olona. He had a song called Anaga. He founded Onitsha Olona, Onitsha Ugbo on his way until he got to the bank of the River Niger. He wasn't satisfied. He has already stolen all the paraphernalia, the Ada and the Eben. So he crossed the River Niger, the bank of the River Niger, at the other side, and now found a place that historically is called Onitsha Omili, which is the Onitsha at Anambra, present day Anambra State. He founded it, and he now became the first Obi of Onitsha. Prince Ohaeze is the first Obi of Onitsha, the Onitsha at Anambra. He named the locality of what he's founded. He named it after his father, whose name was called Oisa, which has been corrupted over the years to Onitsha. Likewise, Princess Obio also left Iseluku and founded a place now which has become one of the clans of Ezechima, the 10 clans of Ezechima, called Obio. So that is how other clans, is because of the judgment of Obaisige that created the formation of the 9 other clans that broke out from Iseluku, while Iseluku still remained the head of all the Ezechima. I was going to say a story just now that the first 5 rulers of Iseluku were addressed as the Enoge of Iseluku, but the 6th, which was Prince Oligbo, was referred as Obi of Iseluku. That is because Obaisige has said Ovise. Ise is the grandfather. Ise is the grandfather. Enogi Ise should not be mistaken for Ise Nutekon. Ise should not be mistaken for Ise Nutekon. No, they are different personage. They are different people. The Enogi Ise, who is the father of Ikhivbi, is different from the Umada of Obaozolwa. 2 different personages, so we shouldn't miss it. The Enoge Ise, who is the father of Enoge Ikhivbi. Over the years, I was called Ihime, from Ihime to Chime, from Chime to Chima. All right? Now, Uhuna gave birth to Prince Oligbo. Oligbo now became an Onoge. But at the time the verdict was made, Obaesige had referred to Prince Oligbo as Orise, a direct son of Ise, a Noge of Ise. And because of that, the rulers, Prince Oligbo, when he got to Iseliko, now adopted the word Ori. Now, an Igbo man cannot pronounce most of the consonant sounds. They are not Igbos, but like I said, some for the Igbolization of them, properly, even a lot of Edo people have problem pronouncing the V, me sounds, the consonants in Benin. So the V has not been thrown away over the years and is now ascribed as the word Obi instead of Ori. He said Obi. The V has been removed over the years. So Iseluku was the first people that used the word Obi as their ruler, which extended to every other surrounding part of the present day Iseluku. And that is where the word Obi was adopted from. Obi is a corruption of the actual statement Ori, the son. Ori means the son. So, we have cleared it beyond every reasonable doubt who Ezechima is. Ezechima never went to Benin, was never an Arochukwu native daughter. He never came to Benin City. His father, he had a father, he had a mother. His father was Ise, who was a Nogi. His mother was from Nkunzu, a village in the Olukumi clan of present day, still existing to date. Nkunzu. That's where the mother was from. So the Igbo was not saying that Ezechima is an Arochukwu native daughter that fell from the sky, just like the Yoruba said about Oduduwa. When you want to know that a people are lying, they cannot be able to give you authenticity of the person. Ezechima, where is he from? Doesn't he have a village? They cannot tell you because they don't know. Who is his father? They don't know. Who is his mother? They don't know. They don't know. So I've been able to take us through, bringing dates, datas, facts, yes, of who this person is. So it's not Ikhime. I've told you, Ikhime is not a Benin word. It's Ikhivbi. It was Ikhivbi that was corrupted by the Seluku people to Ikhime. Over the years, by the Igbo people to Chime and Chima. All right? So these are historical facts that was recorded. Now, by tomorrow morning, I will provide a transcript. I will provide an article of the then in when Obaerediawa visited Iseluku. That was March 15, 1982. A speech was read. A speech was read by the then Obi Osimene III. Obi Osimene III read a speech dated March 15, 1982. Wherefore, they highlighted some of these facts in that speech. So, I'm going to write a very detailed article of a rejoinder by tomorrow. By this time, around 7, the article should be everywhere. Share it. I'm going to explicitly analyze the dates. How Prince Ogun traveled to Iseluku, how he became a best friend to Prince Ikhivbi, who was later to be called Ezechima, and how all of these details were, how Ezechima became a Noge, how his 2 children and his grandson came to Benin in the reign of Obaesige. Wherefore they were not saying that Ezechima was in Benin, he stayed for some time, but they don't know how long he stayed. They don't know, they cannot tell you what era, who was the Oba at the time Ezechima got to Benin, but they can only tell you that there was crisis in the palace. There was no crisis in the palace. And the only time Ezechima never came to Benin, the only time, it was Ezechima's two children, Prince Oligbo and Princess Obio, and his grandson that came to Benin when they were having dispute on who to be enthroned next. It was a misinterpretation of era, time, that has culminated into the lies that they are speaking of. Now, I want to say another thing very important. These they'll say I hate Obaseki, I hate Obaseki, I hate God in Obaseki, but this one is not an hate speech. I even heard someone also sent an article the Igbos wrote saying that their God in Obaseki is Igbo people from Nsukwa. Okay, for the sake, a lot of people have called me and said that, are you sure Godwin Obaseki is not an Igbo man? He's from Nsukwa Yankere. I told them that, why am I like a guy? Why am I like a guy? But Igwa Toge. I know a lot of families that are Benin today that were not originally from Benin. But on the case of the Obaseki's family, they are not just Benin. They are royalty. If you're buying him, someone should go and tell him that the history that they wrote on their website, obaseki.com or obaseki.org, is nonsense. They wrote that they are direct descendants of Obaehen Buddha. That's clear lie. Obaehen Buddha already had one son. Obaehen Buddha had one son and one daughter, Princess Isiwa, and Prince Odogbo, who later became Obaohwan. Obaohwan in Mabie. So how are they the direct sons of Obaehen Buddha? They don't read, they read. But that history that they wrote is a complete lie that is different from history. They are direct descendants of Obaorogboa, not Obaehen Buddha. Obaorogboa, not Obaehen Buddha. I will analyze it now. I will analyze it now. Now, remember when I was analyzing an history, that concerned Prince Oaeze, Prince Oligbo, and Princess Obio, I said when they got to Benin, an event happened. Prince Oligbo was favored. The other two that was not favored, they were allowed to go. Because of that, when Prince Oaeze, who was not favored, got to Iseliku, he packed all the paraphernalia of rulership, the Ada, the Ebe, and every other artworks that was in the palace of the Nogi at the time where they were called at the Nogi of Iseliku. He packed everything and ran away. So when that news came to the palace in Benin, they now devised another means that should, in case in future, their rivalry or their discrepancies between two princes, when the palace favor one, the one that the palace favor will return after some amount of, after being schooled and trained, will return to their kingdom, but the one that is not favored will never be allowed to return back. Instead, will be given a position in Benin, and will be given houses, will be given money, will be given all types of things that will make that person, because of what Prince Oaeze did to Prince Oligbo by ransacking the palace of his grandfather. So that is what happened. Prince Obano was the younger brother of Obaehen Buddha. In short, Prince Obano was the second son of Obaorogboa. His first son was Prince Odiawato, who was later to become Oba Ehembuda. But his second son was Prince Obano. It is that Prince Obano that became the first Obi of Nsukka in Delta State. The first Obi of Nsukka, his name is Prince Obano. He is the second son of Obarogboa. And because by what was already happening, his elder brother, who became the Oba Ehembuda, now sent him as a duke to the Nsukka dukedom. Ona gie no gie, no yare no gie nya Nsukka. All right. The line of this Prince Obano has carried until the reign has always been there, but an event took place during the reign of Oba Ehensonye. During the reign of Oba Ehensonye, I've already established the first Obi of Nsukka was a Benin prince, the second son of Obarogboa, the immediate younger brother of Oba Ehembuda, founded the dukedomship of Nsukka. So his generation down to the reign of Oba Ehensonye, there was a conflict of who becomes the next duke between two sons. Prince Oba, what's his name again? I think Oba Igbo, all right? Oba Igbo, Prince Oba Igbo, and Prince Oyo, Abi, in one thing I used to correct me very well. Oyo, Abi, I think Oyo, oh, you know there is Obede Oyo. It was between Prince Oba Igbo and Prince Oyo. Now, Prince Oyo was saying he's a legitimate heir to the throne because the mother of Prince Oba Igbo was a concubine. Although Prince Oba Igbo was the first son of their father, but his era married. So Prince Oyo said that they married his mother. So Prince Oba Igbo, his mother was never married, so he cannot be the Duke of Nsukka. So that matter was not brought to the palace, and it was in the reign of Oba Ehensonye. So when they looked at it and said that by Benin tradition, there's nothing like concubine. There's nothing like concubine. He's the first surviving son. So Prince Oba Igbo was favored to be the next Enoge of Nsukka. So, but because of the event that happened about 250 years earlier during the reign of Oba Esige, the Benin now being very knowledgeable, they did not allow Prince Oyo to return back to Nsukka. So Oba Ehensonye now drafted Prince Oyo to be member of the Ibiwe Secret Society or Ibiwe Society. And that Oyo went to found a village at Isi district called Ike. Ike, that Oyo founded a village called Ike. The full meaning of the village is called Ike in present day Isi district. That Oyo eventually gave birth to a son that was later to be called Obede Oyo. So Oyo gave birth to Obede Oyo. And that Oyo was from Nsukka, a direct descendant of Prince Obano, who was the son of Obarogboa. That Obede Oyo now eventually became Ine Nibiwe, whose during the reign of Obadolo, it was that Obede Oyo house that Prince Idubowa grew up with his best friend, which was now Awo, because Ogbedo Oyoni Obie Awo, not your Baseki. Do you understand? So when people ask, are the Obasekis Benin? Oh, come on. They are not just Benin. They are not supposed to be greeting Labiese. They are supposed to be greeting Lamobu. By my historical analysis, they are pure Benins. They are not just Benin. They are royalty. Knowing fully well that you are from the royal house. A royal house where you vin. The royal house where you vin. So, but ancestrally, from everything that I have explained, they are direct descendant of Prince Orugboa. So ancestrally, if you obey him, because Oyo went to found Ike. Some of them are claiming Ike. No, it's not true. Went to found Ike. Founding Ike is different from you coming from Ike. The original, the patriarch of that family is Prince Obano, the first Obi of Nsukwa. So, by connecting about 850 years of history, the Obasekis are from ancestrally from Ogbe. They later found Ike, one of their sons along the way, which was Oyo, who gave birth to Ogbede Oyo. Ogbede Oyo now gave birth to Awo Nori Obaseki. All right. Founded Ike Newo Nedo, which is at Isi district at Uhumode. I have heard them when they say that they are ancestrally from Uhumode. That's not true. They are ancestrally from Ogbe. I have said mine. So for those, I've made it easy. For I heard they have a website. I read in their website some time ago where they said that they are from Obayen Buddha. That is a clear lie. Cannot be Obayen Buddha. Because at the time when I read this, now, who are all these people? If you don't know history, go and do findings. Obayen Buddha had one son, one daughter. The Ovie Obao Huamabie, Ovie no Humabie, Princess Isiwa. Princess Isiwa was murdered by Iyasek Benede Omabie. So how are you now ancestrally connected to Obayen Buddha? If anybody tells you that they are ancestrally connected to Obayen Buddha, is a lie. Because Obayen Buddha's line was cut off. It was cut off. They reconnected it back to LY. When it Ohuamabie, it was rotated. It was reconnected back to LY. The Uzama chiefs, Uzama elders reconnected it back to LY. So they boycotted those Olwa, Ozolwa, Esige, Esige, Abi Urugboa, and reconnected it back to LY. They look for the next line, Nori Lele, they reconnected it back to LY. So Obayen Buddha line was cut off. So that is a complex Benin history that I don't want to delve in. Otherwise, we'll be making analysis, and I would have drawn the map on how the Uzama had reconnected it back to LY, and the reason why they had to go back to reconnect it. They be cousins, so you when my Baseki emoji and cousin hey, and now every day, you got 20. So by history, the Ogbede Oyo are supposed to be greeting Lamugu, not Labiese. By history. By history. And I've just said it, why history does not lie. History does not lie. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have done well. So I have analyzed it. By facts, not by facts, not by speculation. I don't speculate. By tomorrow, you'll be seeing pages. I've read in the past 72 hours. I've read about 6 Igbo books, Igbo historians. So I'm going to concise an article and extract it from these different authors so that I can give a rejoinder who Ezechima is, so that not just the video, I should also have an article that will back it up. I intend to publish the article on one of the national dailies so that we'll have the people can make reference to it 15, 20 years from now. So that let's short that topic. Ezechima was a name that was corrupted from Ikhivbi. Ikhivbi was mispronounced by the Seluku people as Ikhime. Ikhime over the years was igbolized to Chime, then later Chima. So the igbolization of the name does not make the name an Igbo name. All right. No. By ear set title, but why would you choose an ear set title over your original line? Maybe they didn't even, a lot of them didn't even know. Cousin, which cousin? If you're by him, well, we carry the torchlight of the royal house and we defend it. So anybody normal carry the torchlight who is not ready to defend the royal, born through we picking at any. No, Oheze Naka, I know them very well. No, they are not related to Ezechima. Ezechima never came to Orion district. All right, so and whether they want to associate with him or not, but Imwetia is his cousin. You understand? Ogbedi bears Ogbedi Oyo now the same for Ogbedi Oyo bear our Baseki. I think Ogbedi Oyo had 13 sons. He can tell you all the story. He knows the story of his family. He had about 13 sons. Awo was the 11th son. Abi, 13 children. Abi, is it 13 children or 30 sons? But I know Awo was 11th. So they are cousins. Whether first cousin or second cousin or third cousin or fourth cousin or fifth cousin. Only my cousin is cousin. It's like your money by so he cannot deny himself. So I know. So anyway, if there are any question you want to ask, you can ask the question. Then make justice on it surrounding this topic so that I can go and sleep. I can go and sleep. Everybody can go and sleep so that we all can be happy. But next time, these people tell you Ezechima is an Igbo man. Asking some of the questions I asked. Who is Ezechima's father? Where is Ezechima from? Did he fall from the sky like Oduduwa fell from the sky in the other part, in the other neighbor? Did he also fall from the sky? He said he's from they said his Arochukwu native daughter that he came to Benin as a trader. Which reign? Who was the Oba at the time he got to Benin? They don't know. Why? I can all these factor. The only Oba they try to connect it is Obaisigi, and I told you why they connect it to Obaisigi. That is the original history. I told you I gave facts of how these things are connected. So I gave 20 songs, but I will back. Anna. You know the family of you know the history of his family. They are cousins. They are cousins. So if there are questions you ask, if there are no questions, we'll call it a day. No. Labese is not an hereditary title by law. Once, if you have a family member, if one of your fathers have become Iyase of Benin, automatically you start greeting Labese. So all the people that greet family Labese are people at one point in time who one of their family members, that was not the original greeting. Labiese is a greeting enforced on anybody that becomes a Yase. All right. So if they are produced the Yase before, automatically that family now start greeting. But that was supposed to, by that definition, it was only our children that are supposed to be bearing, that are supposed to be greeting Labiese, not Ugbedi or your children. By that, Ugbedi or your children are supposed to be greeting Lamogun. By what this historical analysis that I have presented. All right. And that is the correction they cannot start to correct if they want to. Ugbedi or your family are not supposed to be greeting Labiese, but they are not supposed to be greeting Labiese, but rather they are supposed to be greeting Lamogun. Why they are Obaseki should be greeting, by that definition, should be greeting Labiese. Those, I think, Labo, all those Enogi of Uguneki. Uguneki also would be a Labo. But there are always history behind some of these greetings. But one prominent. So there's hereditary now. It's a greeting of the Obas of Benin. If you're Oba. So, tired. So anyway, so I've been able to put this Ezechima. I'll be able to put this Ezechima matter to rest. But I'm too tired. I will start the article tomorrow morning. Maybe by the evening, I should have been done. So I'll put it out for people to have in their archive with facts, with dates, with newspaper publications dated back to, I have a newspaper publication dated back to 1970, was it 1974? Because when they were doing, Oba Kenzwa visited Iseluku twice during the time for Midwest, and when they were doing donation, there was a particular project they wanted to build at Iseluku. They were to raise 28,000 pounds. At that time of history, Oba Kenzwa donated 100 pounds. No, money not did that time. He donated 100 pounds to that project. They were to use 28,000 pounds for that project, but he donated 100 pounds. So I have all of those details. The publication where, because when Prince Origbo was leaving Benin, when the Benin have already discovered that his nephew has stolen all the paraphernalia of office, he was now giving an Adanebe and a pendant of Queen Nidia's mask. A pendant of Queen Nidia's mask. So they are the only vassals of Benin Kingdom where they have a pendant of Queen Nidia's mask given to them freely by the Oba. And that pendant, they continue to showcase it in great amazement till date. In great amazement till date. So, in great amazement till date. See my belly. So, let me thank all of those people who has called me that they are coming for my wedding next month. When wedding next month, you know. So those who are still coming, it's August 23 and August 26. August 23 we'll go to Ile-Ife. Officially, we have gone to His Royal Majesty, which you people saw. We went to His Royal Majesty to officially notify him, to tell him no real swimmer. My Arioko. All we live for this no many kata. So His Royal Majesty prayed for us. Chief Esoma, the Royal Majesty mandated Chief Esoma to pray for us. Chief Esoma prayed for a very long time. Uh, so, and we have a lot of people coming. Even our people from Ga, they are sending representatives. A lot of Royal Majesties from River State, Delta State, they are sending Royal Majesties. They are sending representatives to be with us that day. So as the board has tried in unifying with my association, our association, the Agadagada Summit will be coming up later on this year. By tomorrow, we are going to start rolling publicity. So the Agadagada will assemble no less than 60 Royal Majesties. Will come up later this year. We are still working on the date, but publicity will start tomorrow. So I want, when you see the publicity, let us share. So, but our people from Ga will be coming for the marriage. They were very happy, and a lot of people are coming from Delta, River States, and all of that. Royal Majesty and any representative for those who cannot come. Then, so Boris said, how you were. So, but I thank all of you who have reached out to me. That some said they would have loved to come, but because of one or two things that happened, they won't be able to. But like I told you earlier, like I said before, I like to have people around me than to send money. All right, I know money is good, but by nature, I would prefer these wonderful people that I've known for a while to be with me, so that I can physically see some of these people I've been interacting with for years. So to also grace this very memorable time in my life. So why I was Oba and talk by he said, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Uh, uh, you people start don't sell your family, you call yourself for so anyway, I'll see you guys again. Oba and talk by he said.